Welcome back to School Reunion. This is a show where I track down teachers, friends, and people for conversations about, I'm not going to tell you. This week's guest is someone really special to me. Hope Benzie, my third grade teacher at Plaza Vista Elementary in Irvine, California. Any chance to speak with her has really been a treat. Talked about her own cross-country move as a teenager and how similar it was to mine. A wild story about a kid playing video games with his dad. It's gonna make you go, what? And a diagnosis she had and what led her into retirement. So this one was a really funny one, reflective, and she gave me some good advice at the end about relationships that I wasn't expecting to get from my third grade teacher. So stick around. This is me and Hope Benzie.
Is it right now?
Oh, it's time.
24.
Okie dokie artichoke, is that something you ever said, or am I making that up?
I think I said that too.
Okay.
Along with SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, I kind of remember those. Okay. Maybe that's your Midwestern.
Yes.
Oh, shucksy darn. I feel like I remember that from you as well. No?
You don't want to say swear words, so you say something else.
That's fantastic. Well, yeah, no different than from us already chatting. But usually in advance of these conversations, I've been like listening to the interviews I had with my teachers. But the one I had with you, I couldn't bring myself to listen.
Really? Was it that bad?
No, it's not you. It's just how I felt maybe at the time. Or
I think it was.
I think it was just.
It was
probably
almost.
not as bad.
I kind of remember it being like we were kind of comforting each other. It was a difficult time, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I could never get enough comfort.
Yeah.
Neither can anyone in the world now, really. But yeah, since last chatting, I feel like I'm in a much better place. I'm now 29 instead of 24.
Right.
So
right.
I'm still here.
You have a plan.
I have a plan. It's always nice having a plan.
It's fun to have a goal.
And that makes God laugh, having a plan.
Well, it's a loose plan.
Yes, exactly. But really, myself, last spring I moved to Jersey City. So I'm really on year maybe 2.5, 3 of adulting.
And you moved there for your job?
Not even, no, just to start flying.
Yeah.
To leave the nest.
Did you have friends there?
Yes, and I still do, yeah, for now. No, I'm joking. But I live in a 2-bed, 2-bath with a friend of mine from college, Mr. Shevitz, Noah Shevitz.
No relation.
But no, nice Jewish boy, and from the fraternity I was in college. So there's a lot of them still in New York, and so.
Well, it's nice that you're still friends with them.
Yeah, no, they feel like family that are, as you sort of begin life together and whatnot. And I remember like a conversation I had with Roberta. She said to go where you feel like you have a support group, because I was still living with my folks, and they were in North Carolina at the time. They're now in Massachusetts, but go where you feel supported and loved, I feel like is really great. And maybe that's why I feel so at home here.
Yeah.
So, because there's friends. I caught up with Austin Andrews last night over dinner, and, nothing but good memories, really.
Kind of like a reunion.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I grew up in Illinois, so for me, when I go there, it's a strange feeling of both familiar and not familiar, because I haven't lived there in so long.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the people and, it's nostalgic, but not really that familiar anymore.
Wow, the Midwestern accent really came out there, I feel like. Nostalgic.
Well, I can't help it.
Yeah, don't mind me if I look at this just to see that we are. Yep, cool. These things sound really good, though, when I hear them back.
Yeah.
I just asked the robot, the ChatGPT, what's like the minimal amount of effort in terms of getting good quality and wires, and I was never a handy person growing up. My dad would just come in and save the day.
Did you tell that to ChatGPT?
Yeah.
I use it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's useful,
Yeah.
but hopefully,
Doesn't take over the world.
Yeah, kill us all.
You can use that in your comedy show.
Yeah. So the CEO of ChatGPT, Sam Altman, was just on Jimmy Fallon the other night, and I don't know. You could see like Jimmy Fallon, like they're just on two totally different planes.
Yes. I would imagine.
Yeah, so it was.
Do you watch a lot of late night TV?
Yeah, when I moved to the East Coast, that really got me into it. I was basically reluctant to making friends, and I wasn't making any effort, and so I wasn't really getting it back, and so I would be a recluse, sort of, in, online as middle school, but then that gave me a lot of comfort, those late night shows, comedy, and I felt like there was part of me there, and ever since I was a kid, I sort of felt like a silly, funny weirdo who needed some attention. So that probably came out in the Thanksgiving play or show that we did back in third grade. But
I just remember it was always fun doing those plays because it was a completely different experience than teaching curriculum. So, you see a whole different side, and kids who, and this is not you per se, but other kids who might not have been strong academically suddenly were in their element.
Right.
And there's also, I was thinking about those little plays that we used to do, because I haven't done one in a long time. I actually did one during COVID, believe it or not. But
online?
it was the in-person year where I was hybrid. But I wanted to give the kids something fun to do.
Yeah.
That other than just get here, learn, leave, But when you are helping kids learn parts and they're trying to memorize things, it's fun because they start to trust you in a different way.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's that line again? So, anyway.
Yeah. How, it's very vulnerable. Mm-hmm. You're like a director, so it's like you can fail, and
you bond in a different way.
Yeah.
And they remember those songs like you.
Yeah.
They remember for ages.
Yeah, they're on who knows how many family videos, So.
I had a whole collection of DVDs with Turkeys on Strike.
Right. Where did you get that from, or the idea from, or those lyrics?
It's a musical that we actually purchased from a company that sells kid performance musicals, and there was a script and everything went with it, and they would tell you, here's the roles, the parts, and then here's the costumes and everything, and then what would happen is, you do year one and it's like kind of feels hodgepodgey, and by a couple years you accumulate the great costumes, parents pitch in, you learn
it picks up his legs.
You kind of make different choreography. It was really fun, but I did do it 8 times, so.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it was just right. It was just right.
I mean, on Broadway they go 8 times a week, I think.
Oh
so.
My God, repeating things like that many times is, after a while you're like,
Yeah, exactly. And when I do stand-up, for the most part, there's a set that I'm doing, so I know what I'm going to be saying, pretty much down to the word. But as much as I can clip it and make it less wordy and flow more naturalistically, I can. But yeah, how do I make it not tiring? How do I make it fun for myself? Is something I think about every time. Can I try something different? It's more like music than I've realized. Comedy.
I'm sure it depends on the audience too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they're giving it up for you or not.
Yeah. Just like a classroom, it's a different set of kids, so they, have different ways of engaging with whatever you're saying. It's very similar. Comedy would help in teaching.
And maybe vice versa. Yeah. For sure, yeah. So, but I think of age ranges for me that I'd want to teach are the impressionable years, like 4th or 5th, or 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if I've been told that kids mature earlier. Maybe they, with social media, see things more.
Yeah.
They get anxious earlier. I'm not sure.
I would say probably 4th through 6th are good years where kids are old enough to kind of start to have a value system, so that they can kind of really make a relationship with you, he's patient or something, and then that's important to them, so they have a fondness towards you or whatever.
Yeah, they can be quite maybe more mature than people realize.
Yeah, I always found that if you give a kid a job, that's like the highlight of their day. Parents would be like, how'd you get them to do that? I'm like, they want to do everything.
Yeah.
They literally want to do everything. If you tell them, your job is to take out the trash, but I call it like a, what did I used to call it? A cleanup crew. The cleanup crew. And, that's important. So, time for the cleanup crew to do their job. Oh, here they go.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm curious how, what do you feel like, there's two questions here. You can choose to answer, I guess.
Okay.
How do you feel like kids' knowledge has changed over time, or what do you feel like your students have taught you? So do you think kids are becoming less useful in the world because of social media and coddling, or you can just go on about what you feel like kids have shown you. Those are two that I have.
Those are two different questions. I guess as far as how have children changed, like that kind of question.
Yeah.
You kind of touched on it, that in some ways they're exposed to way more than I was as a kid, that you were as a kid. They're exposed to so much. They're so good. Like they came to second grade already really proficient on the computer. Like they knew how to change settings and do a lot of things. But they're also, I think, a little more immature in the way of like critical thinking and problem solving. So, parents may assume that their kids know how to do certain things, so they don't take the time. Or maybe the kids are so preoccupied with TV and YouTube and everything that they're not paying attention. But,
to functioning in the real world.
Yeah. Just like an example of like helping your mom fix dinner or something, and knowing how to set a table, or how to help with a recipe, or how to take something off of a grill, or flip the pancakes, or just like certain things that are kind of, you don't normally see kids do it, but they can do it. They absolutely can do it, and should, because that's how they learn how to be afraid of the fire. Like that's embedded in that lesson.
Right.
So I kind of think like kids these days aren't given so much responsibility, and so when they get into the classroom, I guess I always feel like, in my mind, I'm not just trying to teach them how to read or write. I'm trying to teach them how to be good citizens of the world, like how to function as adults, because you're going to have challenges or problems and disappointments, handling disappointments.
Yeah.
Very low resilience. I watched as I taught fourth grade, because we had Simmytown where there was elections.
Sure.
And there was mayors, and there's only one mayor. And the
Correct.
kids who were running, it was so disappointing for them if they didn't get it. And over the years, I'd have to kind of like, okay, we're going to have an assistant mayor. And, I'd kind of try and like, okay, well, now you guys are going to be on the city council. Like, I'd give them something to hang on to, so their fragileness wasn't, I don't want
so they feel some agency, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I kind of think...
Oh, but that came with time.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't know what that's going to look like for kids as they get older, because, as you know, it's a tough world out there, It's competitive to get jobs and everything like that, so...
Things you can't always get what you want.
Yep, and it
Rolling
can be
Stones.
Disappointing. Yep. It's an awesome song.
Yeah.
So
I would change it to you usually do
you
not.
sometimes get what you want, and you sometimes get what you
usually
need.
don't.
Decide that you want what you got.
Yeah, exactly. That's like in
that's Sheryl Crow.
Exactly. I was just listening to that. I've been listening to that a lot the past week in California.
Yeah.
Just crank it up, drive.
Yeah, that's a good lyric in her song. And the other question you asked me was about what have kids taught me?
Yeah, we can put a pin in it as well, because I have other questions.
Okay, go ahead.
You can think about it. But no, I mean, something that is pertinent to, I think, what we were discussing is like, what's something you wish kids were taught that aren't? And And then what do you think is maybe or I'll leave it at that. But
what do I wish kids were not taught?
We're taught
that they are not.
Which I think you sort of touched on.
Yeah. I kind of wish that parents would... This is a very teacher thing to say.
Yeah.
But you might as well now if you're going to be a teacher. What happens is...
Wait, you were a teacher?
That when parents would come in, through their eyes, they are so invested in their kids, and there's so much of their own ego intertwined with their kids' success. And you could be the best parent in the whole world, and your kids still may not do well in reading.
Right.
You could be the most social parent in the whole world, and your kids may still have problems making friends. So I wish, if I had a magic wand, I wish I would be able to help parents to take themselves out of the equation.
Right.
Because that's it's helpful in how can we best help your child. Because remember, it's not about you. This is about your kid.
Correct.
So I think I wish but I also understand, because I'm also, as a parent, I know what it feels like. I mean, your kids are the center of your universe, and so you are invested, but it's...
And they're literally your DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you really can step back for a minute,
yeah,
it's a better way to support them, I think.
Yeah, that's so true. Just try to be as objective as possible and look at the facts and focus on the goal of helping your kid be a better human, smarter, kinder, whatever.
Yeah.
All those.
And it gets, even as an adult child, as a parent, it's like a whole different way, because you're still trying to help your kid.
Yes.
But they're now adults, so they have to also figure it out.
And struggle, yeah. So there's a good quote by, not that we need to get political, but by Barack Obama, subtle name drop, not that he's a friend of mine or anything, maybe one day, but he was saying having kids is like having a piece of your heart, or maybe your heart ripped out, I'm paraphrasing, and it being in someone else, and I'm definitely paraphrasing at this point, but they make mistakes and fail, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, there is, but failure is part of the journey as well. And experiencing.
And that's the thing, as
which is painful as a parent.
And when you're teaching kids, I mean, you're with them all day long for all 186 days or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have good days and bad days. And there's, it's an interesting position to be in, because as a job, you're responsible for teaching them certain curriculum, certain things, but as a human, you're also interacting with them as other humans. Like they're just people with feelings, and I used to always say to the kids, everybody has feelings. So I'm going to tell you who. I would put up a seating chart. I would say, I'm going to reveal the seating chart now. And I only want to hear positive things. Yeah. I don't want to hear anything negative, because everybody has feelings.
That's true. It could hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, because if somebody goes, I don't want to sit next to so and so, or
kids say what's on their mind, and they don't realize. Yeah.
So I would be very explicit at the forefront of it, that let's be aware of each other's feelings now, So
maybe you get what you get, and you don't get upset as well. Exactly, a little bit of that.
Exactly. And going on field trips, who sits in the seat with you, always invite somebody to sit with you if you see that they're looking.
Honestly, human decency 101.
Well, unfortunately, teachers are teaching a lot of that now. They just aren't learning it in the world. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's probably missing. I mean, a question I have is what do you think is missing from our culture today? And I probably have a big one that comes to mind is kindness. No.
Kindness and empathy. Empathy is a tough one for kids, because they're, depending on the age, younger kids are more like, it's all about me. Yeah. And, you ask them what happened, and it's like, that person did that. I'm like, okay, and before they did that, what happened? And if I ask them what happened, what are they going to say?
Right.
Oh. Well, I might have hit him on the head with,
Sometimes it must be hard not to laugh.
Yeah, so I'm like, But, you're very aware that whatever you do is going to go home. So I try and be, whatever I say, I think, how will parents feel that I said this? But that's the thing. When I was a little kid, we used to have a lot of play dates. Like, we'd go over to each other's house and play.
Yeah, I remember having a good time like that.
Someone else's home, and they'd offer you things, and you had to have like manners, and you'd had to
share.
True. And I think nowadays a lot of kids' activities are sports. They're just kind of organized like groups.
Yeah.
So they're not having kind of that smaller scale kind of socialization as much.
Yeah, where I remember that feeling that is a really good point, underrated. Yeah. I remember sort of like, and you could say arguably to this day, but yeah, I remember having really good manners as a kid and like adults being impressed, but it was also partly maybe out of nerves and wanting to please them.
But you thought to say it. I mean, somebody taught that to your parents. Sure. Probably did.
Yeah, I was intuited as the
and
youngest of three.
And because your mom and Ori were friends, or maybe are still friends.
Yeah.
It might have helped you and Ron, because you probably spent more time together because of the family friendships. But, imagine for a kid whose parents aren't friends with somebody and they don't have play dates. And, I would often ask parents, like, so, at conferences, so what do they do, during the free time?
Fun,
and it's like video games.
Right.
So it's I understand it. My son played video games and still does.
Sure.
I understand it. It's just, I'm not sure it's healthy for the socialization piece.
Correct. I mean, it's a different kind as well. Like, if you can figure out the technology with an earpiece and communicating with your buds and having, but I think that's more, at the very least, a young adult thing to do, if even. But adults do it now. I mean, that's how they keep in touch. They have like a league and a chat, and I don't quite do that, but. Yeah. How do you feel like, we talked about how kids have changed over the years, how you've seen it. I mean, you can only talk about from your shoes, but how do you think parenting has changed? Have you seen that as well?
Yeah, it is really interesting because, all those years in Irvine, and I had, you're familiar with the neighborhood, so you know that kind of demographic. And then now I live here and I'm doing some tutoring, so I'm kind of got my finger on the pulse of what it's like here. And kids are really busy here. At least the parents that I interact with, they have the means to enroll their kids in a lot of activities and afford any kind of support that they might need to make it happen. So if they need a nanny to help them with the driving of all the different things, they can get that. So then in Irvine, it was different. It was a lot of grandparents living with the families. Grandpa would come pick up the kids.
Yeah.
It was very different. And then they'd go home and not speak any English sometimes. So there was that.
Totally.
And I think that COVID really changed things. I think that was very impactful for parenting and teachers. But I think that all parents really want, they want their kids to be happy, and they want their kids to love school and do well and be successful. They all want that. I think because the world has gotten so kind of stressful and intense and competitive, that their bandwidth to support their kids is probably less because they're just themselves trying to get through the world,
So there's no changes that are good for the better?
I guess, there is, I don't know if this happens at home as much, but definitely in schools there's, a lot more awareness of social emotional learning. They have a whole curriculum, SEL.
Oh.
Yeah, social emotional
Recognizing
learning.
how you feel? And
recognizing how you feel, breath
how to
work.
manage it.
Breath work, meditation, calming skills, coping skills. And parents do want to help their kids with those things. They don't want their kids to be anxious.
Yeah, to throw. It'll help everyone.
The word anxious and anxiety are part of like the everyday. Like when I was a kid, I was 8 years old. Nobody used that term for kids or even around kids. Like I didn't. Maybe nervous, they would say.
Correct. Now we're the United States of anxiety.
Yeah.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, I think that they're still trying to do their best, but it's tricky. The parents that I interact with, honestly, last school year when I taught, I had a wonderful group of parents who were super supportive of their kids and very grounded. And for the most part, really trying very hard to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You have the occasional parents who, are really working hard, and there's not a lot of harmony in the house, and the kids on not just video games but violent video games. Guns and stuff at 8.
Yeah. It all comes from the house.
Yeah. So, they're like, oh, they play video games. The husband plays video games with the son. Okay.
Oh.
And what kind of video games?
Oh,
and then you learn, and it's like, maybe choose a different video game.
Yeah.
Like Minecraft. Or something.
I'm disturbed hearing that.
Yeah, I was too. And then we talked to them about that, and they tried to make some changes. But everybody has to be on board for a change.
Ain't that the truth? Have you read, you familiar with Mel Robbins?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. Yeah, I have that book. Yeah, Let Them.
I'm listening to it right now, so I'm working my way through it.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's true.
Yeah,
it's just the truth.
Yeah, you don't have control of other people, so you just have to decide how you want to respond to it.
Yeah, and the harder you push...
Yeah. It's just tricky because when you're dealing with kids...
You gotta lay down the law sometimes, yeah.
And, you kind of go, okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume that you didn't realize how detrimental that is for your kid. So I'm going to inform you that research that says that, desensitizes kids to violence at that young age if they're doing that. But I think they don't really, at that point, they're like, oh, we just thought it was fun,
And then they're taking it, it's personal. Yeah,
They're like, well,
yeah. They're making it about them.
They really they want to keep their kids happy, so they'll say, well, he really likes it.
Yeah.
That's one of the few things he likes to do.
Yeah. That's a tough corner to be in.
Yeah. They're trying
you don't
their
want
best, but...
Yeah. And sometimes maybe parents take like if you, God forbid, ever like insinuate that they're not doing a good job or tell them what to do. I don't know if you've ever been in positions like that, but you can't control how the other person reacts. So sometimes someone can just lose their shit. Has that ever happened? Someone meaning a parent.
Like losing their shit at me?
Yeah.
I had one dad who didn't like... It's a whole story, but
okay.
He was mad
trying
at
to
me.
re-traumatize you.
Yeah, he was mad at me because he brought his son in after school one day, and he was trying to kind of point out to his son, look, you didn't do this and this on your writing. Right, Mrs. Benzie? And I was like, well, yeah, next time, capitalize it. And then he didn't like that I said that. Okay. And so he went to the principal and complained about me. And the principal said, why don't you meet with them? And I did, but he was so mad. Sometimes when people are really set, I said, well, I'll try and do the best I can to help your son have a positive experience in 3rd grade. And he just kind of rolled his eyes and was pissed. So,
okay.
I was like, okay, well, it's better if we're not, in an adversarial relationship because I'm with your kid 6 hours a day, but sometimes parents, they can take things personally. And I learned kind of mid-career that if a parent has a qualm with something, it's important for me as the teacher to not defend, because if I defend, that makes them the offender. And so then you're now not on the same, moving in the same direction. You're against each other. So I learned that it's best just to try and like be curious, like why, what caused you to think that? And I understand. So, and I would say, what would you prefer? You know, I remember in COVID that happened. This one little girl, she wouldn't do any of the assignments at home. So it's like,
what are you going to go to her house and knock on her door?
I know. And then and then during the 2 days she was in person, I'd try and like help her and catch her up. But you know, I'd be on the okay, now I'm going to check, and I need you to. And the parents talk to me, and they're like, well, you know, she's really a good student. She just doesn't want to do it. And I said, so I'm trying to understand, would you rather I not hold her accountable? Like, is that where oh, well, and they realized, like, when I said it that way, that they were like, well, no, we still want her to do it, but if she could just do it mostly in school, okay. It's not a hill for me to die on. You know, I'm not, there's only one thing that's important, is that kids like school. That's the only thing that's important, because they're not going to want to come to school, and they're not going to want to learn if they don't like school. And part of them liking school is liking their teacher. And part of them liking their teachers, their parents have to also like the teacher. Because when the kids would come in and their parents, like, sometimes either already knew me because siblings or from somebody else, if they already liked me at the beginning, the kids were so thrilled to be in class. They're like, we're here.
They got the right glasses on.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I always had, because as the youngest of three, it's like there had to have been some sort of Tuval history, and like probably in a decent way. I mean, we were no harm. So
I didn't have your sister though.
Yeah, probably not my brother.
No, I didn't have your brother either.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you met her.
I definitely had seen her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely had seen her. So she's older than you.
Yeah, by a couple years.
Just by a little bit. Yeah,
by a couple years. We might as well not be twins, but like we look a lot alike.
Yeah.
Both in the Crohn's Club and.
It's funny because some kids change a lot as they age, like serious morphing, and then some kids just look like an older version of their younger self. You look like an older version of your younger self.
That's funny. Were there any, when you think back to me as a student, were there, like, what traits did you hope to see me carry into adulthood? What do you remember about me?
Well, I do remember that you were good friends with Ron, and I remember
attached to the hip.
I remember just thinking, because I would reflect on my own kids, and I have a son too, and I remember thinking that it was really nice to have a best friend, because I don't think my son had a best friend, and so I remember thinking that it was really nice for both of you to have that much comfort with another person. So having a best friend, or feeling comfortable as, you know, close friends, having a close friend. I think that both you and Ron, I just kind of remember you kind of together a lot, but I remember you as having very positive attitude and smiling a lot.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm just kind of thinking through my brain.
And wearing an orange cast.
What else did I remember? I remembered that you had a really nice family. And
I think I had a lot of energy as a kid. I know I did at home, at least.
I don't remember there being any problems.
Right, not in that way. No, because teacher's pet. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to be. I remember that you always tried your hardest on things. Like, you weren't, you know, some kids would roll their eyes and shrug, you know, oh, do we have to? And I don't remember you ever being like that.
Yeah, I think I've always. I mean, I can't help but have changed from moving to the East Coast and taking in that environment. But I feel like I've always been conscientious my whole life in terms of working, all or nothing. Usually all, basically, with everything.
Yeah. I mean, you give it your all, you do your best.
Yeah.
And usually it works out great, and then every once in a while it doesn't, and that's just life.
Yeah, no, but great home. I had the thing that really shook or shaped me was that move, really. But I mean, I moved from Irvine, California, to Newton, Massachusetts,
And I understand, because I moved when I was 15 and a half from Illinois to California.
Right.
In the middle of a school year.
Yikes.
So I know what that's like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a culture shock.
Yeah, it's an uprooting. Yeah, and I was never bullied or anything. But if there's, I say if there's no one to bully you, you do it to yourself.
Aww.
No, but it was hard for me. I just wasn't open to making friends, and I wasn't open about the new experience, and so you get back what you put out, and
I remember when I moved, and maybe this is somewhat similar to what happened for you, is when you're that age, your perception of yourself is really how do your peers see you. So how my peers saw me in Illinois. So then I move out here and I have nobody giving me that reflection.
Yeah.
So I was like, well then who the hell am I?
Yeah.
And
yes.
I was like, do I make a new self? Do I didn't even know like who I was. And a lot of different things happened, but I remember feeling like I didn't know this at the time, but now that I look back on it, I remember just like not feeling like I knew myself that well. So I did make friends, but like I made the wrong kind of friends, and then I had some of the hard experiences and stuff, because at that adolescent stage, I think you don't really know who you are, except for that, like, oh, they think I'm funny because they're laughing, so I must be funny, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's hard not having that reflection anymore.
Oh, so that's why I don't think I'm funny, just because I spend too much time alone. I get it.
You have to laugh at your own jokes.
Yeah.
and then you will think you're funny.
No, but that's so true. And it's frustrating not seeing how you feel and how you historically have been projected from the world back to yourself in the new environment, because it's like, what am I, a loser? Like, I don't have any friends? Like, when I moved from the West to East Coast, and that was the bar mitzvah year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mine was a Sweet 16 year.
Oh, woof.
Back then, everybody had these parties.
Mm.
And I was 15 and a half, so my parents flew me back to Illinois to have my Sweet 16 because I didn't have friends yet.
Yeah.
It was rough, let me tell you.
Yeah, what was?
Moving here.
Okay. I thought you meant the Sweet 16.
That was rough, too, because then I just had to leave again.
Right.
So that was rough. And we moved to Fullerton, and the first group of friends that I met were nice, but then a whole born-again Christian wave went through my school. And they were doing Bible study at lunchtime, and everything became about that.
Yeah.
And I literally was perceived as like a temptation from the devil. A girl wrote me a letter. I'm sorry, I can't be friends with you anymore.
Oh, because you're Jewish?
Yeah. So that was rough.
What the heck?
That was rough. So the only way I knew how to deal with that was to not go to school.
Without your parents knowing?
Yep.
Yeah.
I would write myself a note. In those days, you show a note that your parents wrote. And so I would give the note. Of course, this was already in my senior year of high school, so things were kind of already on the way out, but I was just and I made different friends, and I survived it and got into college and everything, but it was rough. It was rough. Mm. It's a very as you had said that you wanted to go into teaching during a time when kids are, you can have the big impact and because they're influenced. That's why moving was so hard for us, because that was during that time. The anchor.
Did you apply to schools back in the Midwest?
Well, when I originally moved out here, that was always my plan. All of my friends went to either Champaign or to Bloomington, Indiana.
Okay.
And I thought, well, this is a very temporary situation for me. I'll just go to college there, and I'll be back with my friends.
And then pick back up, right?
And pick back up. But like kids are, resilient and adaptive. And so I ended up finding, I had a boyfriend and I had friends, and I got into UC Santa Barbara, and my parents wanted me to go there, so I went there, and then,
not a bad place to be.
Yeah, it was a good place to go to school. It was a good place to go to school. I mean, gosh, again, everything's so competitive. I would never be able to get in there now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Good people make good teachers, though. That's what I heard. That's an expression.
I think that what happened for me, and I would imagine would happen for you, is the experience that I had as a kid. It was like really in my head. I knew.
Was it? Yeah.
I knew how I felt. I knew what was important to me. I remembered, I remember thinking to myself, I will never move my kids. Like, I knew that growing up. Like, it's just not going to happen, because I knew what it did to me. And
right, they'll suffer in other ways, though.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, I just knew that. I knew, and I also knew what it felt like to come to a school as a new person.
Yeah.
So, for example, when a kid would
yeah.
come into my class as brand new from middle of the year, I'm like,
just how to.
I just would sit there and I would say, I have great news for you. And the kid's like, oh. And I say, you have a really nice teacher.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're wondering. They're wondering, are you nice? Do you yell? Of course they're wondering. I would too. And so I would always say that. And I would always tell the parents, it's going to be okay. If you want, you can, text me or email me, whatever, to see how they're doing. Because I also knew, this is a very transitional time. Their kid is afraid.
Yeah.
And we had kids come from other countries who didn't speak English.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm going to have a hard time communicating, but I won't yell at them.
Right. It's a different kind of difficult, yeah.
But you'll take those experiences and things that were, like the ways that you navigated through your challenges, and you'll apply that to understanding kids.
Yeah, that's the goal, really, to look out for the silent sufferers, the people who,
who think nobody's noticing them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Are you noticing me?
Hello.
What have you enjoyed since retiring? And when did you retire?
So what happened was
Are you retired?
I am. Technically, I'm on a medical leave because I'm using my sick days, because last year I had breast cancer, and I'm fine, but
yeah, we're in the club.
I was like,
Cancer.
The stress of certain things. I was just like, you know what, I just didn't have the wherewithal anymore, and I had enough sick days for a year. So I thought, well, I'm not 100% sure, but I probably want to retire. But if I do it this way, it's we call it a soft retirement.
It's like an off ramp.
Yeah,
that's really really lovely.
Yeah, it was really nice, and I had a lot of kindness, and I had former students come by, because it kind of got out that I might not be coming back, and so that was really nice, and I kind of still feel that I still like the act of instructing, like teaching somebody and seeing they're excited, they learn something new. I still like that, so I do have 4 kids that I tutor, and it's all right here, walking distance, really easy.
Yeah.
And then I try and help my son and daughter-in-law with the baby sometimes, like once a week I go to their place and hang out and help. And then I just am trying to put time into my friendships and extra, trying to be healthy. Because when you're teaching, your days are very busy and they start early.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm tired by the end of the day. But now at least I can take better care of myself and kind of invest in time with, my family, my parents are still living.
Wow.
So I want to make sure that I'm here for them too.
Mm.
It's a lot of life. It's a lot of life to keep track of.
Yeah, having a life is a job. I'm so glad you're better.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very lucky. They caught it really early. It was like stage 1A. So I had a surgery. I just had a lumpectomy. And then I had a very brief radiation, which actually was worse than the surgery. And then and then just being on a medication for a bunch of years. Mm-hmm. But I got very lucky. I didn't have to have chemo, which was very lucky for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it does it wears you down, going, all the doctor's appointments and all the tests and everything. It kind of wears you down. And very busy with that. And so I just didn't have the wherewithal to handle some of not the kids. The kids and the parents were great, but there's other dynamics in teaching. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to not do that anymore.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Mm.
Yeah. My daughter-in-law is actually studying to be a teacher too.
Mm. What's her angle?
She's thinking middle school English. And I, try and be very realistic with her, just letting her know essays take a long time to grade. So you have to be willing to grade a lot of essays. Because that's what a lot of English middle school is. Mm-hmm. And, each grade is a little different. Like in second grade, there's not much grading at all. Everything is more on the front side, like prepping it and classroom management stuff. So there's not as much grading.
If you didn't teach, what would you do?
Well, if I didn't teach, I do have a degree in psychology. So at one point, I wanted to be a psychologist. Mm-hmm. I still have like a lean into, I listen to a lot of podcasts and things about relationship things. So I still
familiar with Esther Perel? And,
yeah. Yeah, so I do listen to those, and Jay Shetty, if you have.
Sure, my mom loves him.
Yeah. I just came onto a new one. Her name, it's called Dear Nina, and she's actually based out of Chicago and Jewish. And she does a whole thing about friendships. So that's always I like to listen to that stuff. I'm very into that. I love interior design, so I love decorating and doing that kind of thing.
Well done here.
My daughter's also very artistic, so she painted that picture there.
Oh wow!
And she's very good at it too. So we have fun when she moves into a new apartment. We like.
And is she okay with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah,
lovely to have that.
We're very close, so we're in sync.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else I would do. I do like, I'm like kind of into yoga. Like I wouldn't mind having become like a yoga instructor, something like that. But teaching is good.
It's a lot of those. It can be a lot of those things. Being a teacher, I feel like.
Yeah, you can kind of incorporate your own personality into your classroom. And like I used to teach the kids a little bit of yoga, and we used to do things that I liked to do.
Right.
It's part
of
it. So that was fun. But I think that's the nice thing about teaching is it incorporates a lot of different skills depending on what you want to bring to it. Mm-hmm. And like, because stand-up is really public speaking, so like that may become something that you help your students with and giving them tips on being in front of people and what to do when you're feeling nervous and how to express yourself.
Mm-hmm. Basically, you just have to do it.
And
you were alluding to it earlier.
Yeah.
In practice, but what resists persists, and the longer I feel like we stay away from things that scare us, the bigger they get and the scarier they get. So
yes, just take one baby step at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember even when I was going back to be a teacher, and I remember the first day of every class, they'd hand a syllabus to you, and you'd look at it, I'd look at it, and I'd be like so overwhelmed, like, oh my God, how am I ever going to do all those papers and all this? It was like so big. And then, like, each week, you just focus on what you need to do that week.
Right. And
then the next thing you know, that class is over, and you're on to the next.
I'm just doing a time check. We're golden. I remember as a kid that, looking at, like, Gaia's homework and, like, whoa, what is this? Like, I'm never going to be able to.
Yeah.
And then, you get to it, and it's.
The key is to not say those things to yourself. Say, I just don't know those things yet.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Always never thinking is not quite useful.
Yeah.
So,
always never. Yeah. I know. And really, even when I tutor the kids and the parents are like, how are they doing? I said, like anything, practice.
Yeah, but word problems suck. We can agree.
Word problems suck until you know, and I did not know this as a kid, but as a teacher, I now know that certain words are really telling you what to do. Because I'd always be like, they're not telling me if I'm supposed to add or subtract. But there are keywords that actually do tell you that. And I'm like, why didn't anybody ever teach me that? Like how many does he have left?
Right.
Left.
What's the difference?
Or what's the difference?
Right.
That's subtraction.
Right.
In all.
Total.
Adding. So, but nobody ever told me that.
Wait, can we go on about it? Wait, what?
I need a refresher course.
I remember really struggling with, in kindergarten, I need to talk about it with Sheila when I chat with her later, the concept, and I might be off about this, but I do have a memory about even and odd numbers in kindergarten, and I was just...
Like, who cares?
It was a little hard for me.
Does it actually matter?
No, but I remember I myself struggling, and then I was upset with myself, and like,
why can't I get it?
Yeah, clenching.
It seemed abstract. Like, why do we have to identify a number as even or odd? When I went to second grade, I started teaching the kids, like, if the number was 4, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a match for each finger, so it's even. If it's 5, this one doesn't have a partner.
Okay.
And so it's odd.
I like that.
So sometimes that's another fun part of teaching, is you kind of have to think of clever ways to help kids understand something and remember it.
Right.
And remember it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun for me now because I see my tutoring kids, so I see what they're learning from their teachers, and sometimes they show me, and I'm like, all right, that's a clever way to teach it. I see what they did there. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting how the brain works.
Very much so. Yeah. That's a takeaway I'm getting from you, is your interest in that, and myself as well. I mean, I considered at a time, and I got into a MA program for psychology, without really a career track though, but psychologist was a route I was considering, but still, I don't know, I don't have that, and nowadays things are different, and doctors have TikToks and whatever, but I'm not, I don't know, still straight-laced enough, or I don't know, I need somewhere where my work can be hopefully an extension of my personality, and I feel like therapists do a lot of listening, and
and using
I'm not sure how much
is a good
it's a form
skill.
Oh, for sure. That's probably why I needed it. Yeah, when I moved. Yeah,
why? Yeah, a lot of people do, and I think that it helps in all relationships, honestly.
Amen.
It's just, and in fact, when I went to this baby shower a couple months ago, you had to go around the room and give advice, and the first thing I said was, don't lose your sense of humor, because there's going to be a lot of things that happen that you can either be frustrated and angry about it, or you can laugh it off.
Yeah.
Because does it really matter that much? Probably not.
It's about how we relate to, the circumstances of life, as you know.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, certain things, of course, you're going to have big feelings about, but it doesn't have to be everything,
Yeah, agreed. It does not. No, I think that's something that my generation can work on, is handling difficulty. But life teaches you that, I think. Life is a good teacher.
Yeah. And I
think you stick with it.
Humor helps in the classroom. A lot of kids, believe it or not, think I'm funny. And I think they like teachers to be funny.
Yeah.
I think they like you to laugh and not be so serious all the time.
Yeah.
Because that teaches them that it's okay to laugh, you know?
Yeah, that's so true.
And I also think that, you know, exploring and continuing to be in the comedic role, I think that is a good way to kind of help with you knowing you and laughing about that. I think, you know, a lot of comedians laugh at themselves, and
correct. It's,
you know, it's also a good way of coping with finding your way through life.
Amen. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's like I feel like I sometimes don't know who I am a lot of the time, and so writing down helps me. Writing things down, and then also going on stage because I can surprise myself and say stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was never good at public speaking, and I was terrified of it when I first went into teaching. I literally could hear have you ever had that happen where you can hear yourself, your own voice in your head? It's like sounds different.
Mm-hmm.
I was so nervous. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears.
No.
And you know, you just do it enough times, and then I kind of got to a point where at the school I was always put in charge of giving gifts to the principals or something. So I'd have to stand up or
say a little,
the volunteer of the year, and say a little speech for somebody.
That checks out.
And I realized, and I learned this a lot from Keith too.
Okay.
If you just speak from the heart, it's all there.
Right.
You know, you just have to just speak from the heart and not rush, not talk too fast, and then it always comes out good.
Wow, that's really good.
You know, I would just say what I really thought of that person, and you know, I'd kind of pre-think it, I'd organize my thoughts a little bit, but I didn't necessarily have to have something written down. I usually would, just for the security of it, but the reality is, if you just kind of I think that when you're nervous, you talk fast. So it's just take a breath and just talk from the heart.
Yeah.
And you know, if you, in your heart you're thinking funny thoughts, it comes across very sincere. You know.
Yeah.
We
That's
like
really
to watch
great.
Jimmy Kimmel at night.
Yeah, he's great.
We watch.
He's
him.
a mensch.
He's a mensch, and he's so natural in his ability to have a conversation with somebody. I know he has questions.
Yeah.
And he goes way off and responds to whatever they're talking about, and he's still funny.
Yeah.
And I think people really like talking to him for that reason. He can be very present.
Yeah, that's really great. Speak from the heart, yeah. I like that, yeah. I just want to make a self-deprecating joke, but it's not coming out right now. Speak from the heart, yeah, as a Jewish man, the heart is buried deep, you know?
Yeah.
No, that's really lovely.
Most men,
yeah.
the heart is buried deep. The reality is what women are looking for is somebody who doesn't bury their heart deep.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the problem.
All right. Well, we've covered relationships, teaching, and yeah.
So your next step is when you start your program.
Yeah, in about a month.
A month.
Yeah, and that's some classes.
And it's full time?
It is, yeah. 3 classes in the spring, 3 classes in the summer, less in the fall, and then the 6 hours a week of practicum starts, and then spring of 27 is full time.
Yeah.
Unpaid.
Oh yeah, gotta love
slave
that.
labor.
Yeah. For just one semester.
Yeah, several months, January.
You're on I think my daughter-in-law is almost the exact same. I think she said spring of 27 she'll be done.
Yeah.
She'll be able to interview for a full-time job.
Nice, yeah. So yeah, I'll be doing it in New Jersey, but California is always an option. I feel like they have some similarities. New Jersey, I am projecting, but I really like it there. The beach in New Jersey is nice. The shore, I'll go there several times in the summer.
Yeah.
It's charming.
Well,
you have it here.
Don't want you to.
No, of course not. God, no. I could live here though. I could hang
my
here.
daughter's the same way. She's like, I could never leave. We're, close family, so she's like, I could
I'm gonna hit the record, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
It was lovely chatting.
It
And
was a good chat.
we'll keep chatting. My thanks again to Hope Benzie. If you enjoyed this one, follow School Reunion wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow me on Instagram at BenH2Val. Leaving a review also helps a ton if you have a spare minute, I am told. And if you're in New York, I will be doing stand-up at Broadway Comedy Club on the 8th of July. That's a Wednesday. Another Guys Night show with Guy Reuven. So come catch that if you're around. I'm sure it'll be a great lineup, and Guy is the goober. Anyway, until next time, bye.